with that. So, like MapQuest, so some of the other mapping companies that this company would use, we would punch up and we weren't getting accurate readings.
Right.
So what we did was our IT department in Overy County government just did a marvelous and wonderful job of working with these folks with Offender Watch to interface our mapping system, our GIS mapping system in Overy County with that program, so you're getting the most up-to-date locations.
That is tremendous.
So that's why it took us a little longer, to get started with it. And there's the possibility that there still could be some mistakes out there.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll notice on our website when you go to it that we have information on there that if you know of where an offender is the information you see is not correct, you immediately, as soon as you can either email us,
right,
or you can call us.
You want to know.
I want to know. That's why we've been able to make a lot of changes. Not a lot, but we've had a few where people have said, listen, that's not a correct address. And we've been able to go check it, find out that
rectify it quickly.
That's correct. And it's not just us saying this is the most accurate, just the most accurate information that we have at this particular time. That doesn't mean it's 100% correct. And if you know out there that something's incorrect, don't hesitate. Let us know. Email us. When we first went online, we got several emails where the addresses may have been off a little bit. We had an address, and the person wasn't there, and the people knew they weren't there. Well, they let us know. Well, we've been able to find those folks. So it's just with the community and us working together.
Absolutely.
To make sure we got this accurate information.
And getting the information out as much as possible. So many aspects tie into this. Of course, a lot of folks are always wondering, what is a registered sex offender? What does someone have to do to be registered? Is it very basic things, or is it all very serious?
Well, it varies. A person must register if they've been convicted of certain crimes. And that would be criminal sexual conduct, first, second, third degree, which is some form of, criminal sexual conduct, first degree is rape. And then you have different degrees. But if you're criminal sexual conduct, first, second, third degree, lewd act on a child.
Right.
Kidnapping is a required offense to be registered for.
Oh, yeah.
Some degrees of indecent exposure. With indecent exposure being on the registry, a judge has to specifically order the court to have this person registered, order the defendant to have that person registered. Because there's different degrees of indecent exposure.
Sure.
So, you hear folks talk about, well, if someone was outside and all, you could end up on the registry. That's not necessarily the case. We're talking about severe instances of indecent exposure. Lewd act on a minor, I think I might have mentioned that.
Right.
But there are other offenses, but a person has to have been found guilty and been to jail, prison, or on probation.
Right. So
it's not a person that's been charged. This is a person that's been convicted.
Good, yes. Because obviously lots of things could happen or people get out there, but as long as they've gone through the system and are recognized in that capacity, because, as we said, that deterrent component, when you pull that up and you see a picture, oftentimes of a neighbor, when I went on earlier this morning and saw two folks within my 1 mile radius, and then the great thing is it still shows some folks even outside of that 1 mile radius. I clicked on the third one, and it said he went in the same day that he came out, so obviously it must have been probation.
That's correct.
But you're able to see where he is. The two within the neighborhood, 15 houses from me, and of course, one thing you mentioned so many different aspects on there, aside from the picture, but they also show a lot of the descriptive issues, whether they have tattoos on their arms, on their hands, on their chest, and it shows what those tattoos are. It's very powerful information. I think any parent, any grandparent, any loved one, any caregiver, obviously any potential babysitter who's going to say, hey, let me take your kids in my house, they need to be able to say, I know where the sex offenders are in my neighborhood. And I think a grandparent needs to be able to say to a child, their own child, hey, I know I'm watching our grandchildren, and I know where folks are, and I'm very cognizant of that. I think it's important for people of all ages.
Well, it is. Definitely is. And not only is this a tool, and it's a very important tool for notification and for citizens in our county to understand what's around, it's also a good tool for law enforcement.
Yes.
point. We work so closely with the other law enforcement agencies in this county that we have gone to the different city police departments and talked with their people to help us. 540 people. It's hard for one agency to go to 540 individual homes. So
right.
The ones that are in their jurisdictions, we have gone and asked them if they would check those.
Confirm those addresses and everything.
And let me tell you, they have been remarkable. They have been wonderful. We are constantly, our staff that handle this are constantly in contact with representatives from the other agencies where these cities are checking theirs out, so that helps us as far as the county areas.
Oh, yeah. Sheriff Thompson, I tell you, the website just goes, you could go on and on. If someone visits for the first time, whether they're a young parent like me or a grandparent or otherwise, there's so many pages of it. What you've got on there now and the tips for parents and great practical tips for children in a PDF format. You easily print it out, lay those out. It reminds children basic issues, but some of the basic steps there, just giving you the facts and figures, basic facts and figures about sex offenders. 50% of them reoccur. A lot of them are constantly moving around. They hate to be tagged, and of course that's a real serious thing. And we want to recognize the deterrence, but also you helping with many of the folks in your department working in the detention center. Obviously, there's a goal of rehabilitation.
Well, there is, and all of us want to have rehabilitation, but you know, and I hope we do. I'd love to see 100% rehabilitation. I really will. But what we want to make sure is we got as much information as we got out there, so that the citizens of this county can go on there and they can understand. Like you referred to the tips that's on there. I encourage everyone when they go on this website, read those tips. Right. You know, I've been in law enforcement for 29 years. I've been involved, but even some of those tips that I read on there, I kind of thought to myself, why didn't I think of that? Right. Well, maybe you had thought of that, but you hadn't really put it to use. Like, let kids be kids.
Let kids be kids.
That's
yeah.
it. You know, let them be kids, and we all want to protect them, but kids have got to be kids. But we got to teach them. I think probably one of the most important things that we can do as a parent or a caregiver is to communicate. Mm-hmm. Be open. Be honest. Let these kids know what to do if someone approaches them and they don't know. Let them know. And there's tips are in there to tell you what to tell them. Right. But be open with them. You know, these kids are a little smarter than we give them credit for sometimes.
I know my daughter is, yes.
But read the tips. And please don't ever hesitate to call our sheriff's office.
Oh, yeah.
If you got a question about anyone, you're not going to bother us. That's what we're there for. Right. That's our job. I'm just glad we were able to get this program, get it in effect in Horry County. I think you'll probably see it go through some other counties, but I'm glad we got it here in Horry.
Absolutely. We just got a couple of minutes. You know, we think about your office and, of course, the Judicial Center, 212,000 square feet, and obviously you all are actively making sure folks are not only taken care of, but that it's operated efficiently and proficiently. The detention center, a lot of your man hours, a lot of your person hours are out there. And there's so much more that happens in the sheriff's office. I bet a lot of folks, if someone asks you a basic question, give me a minute, summarize what all the sheriff's office does in Horry County. How would you, when you think about that?
Well, you know, our basic goal or our basic responsibility that I feel like with the Sheriff of Horry County is that we're an assisting agency for all the law enforcement agencies in this county. I mean, we help and we assist all the different departments, cities, the county police department. We're there to help and assist them. We certainly have responsibilities. We do the security and all this going on in the courthouse. And in this day and time,
right,
security is of utmost importance.
Oh, yeah.
And we want to have good security, but we want to have it in a way that doesn't scare you to death when you come in. If you understand
right.
what
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
sure.
We got to do it in that way. Our detention center, I could talk for an hour about where
easily.
we're at there. Extremely overcrowded. We've got a wonderful staff of men and women that work out there, just working so very hard to under conditions of being overcrowded and all. We're in a rebuilding process now. Mm-hmm. Got 188 employees out there, and I got 650 inmates today.
Wow. Well, I want to thank you again on behalf of the Herald for opening up to Paul and giving him some great ideas of some of the tremendous public safety profiles he's done over the last couple of years, both from your office, the Horry County Police Department, all the different public safety agencies in the county have turned and provided Paul some of the great people, and I have seen some of the most exciting profiles of folks working and helping to operate your detention center.
Well, thank you for that. Let me tell you something. Paul's a great guy to work with. You've got a good guy there, and the Herald is top notch.
We've got a long way to go still, but surely making a difference, and it is amazing. And I can't say enough about the commitment you all have made to doing it and doing it right here with the tracking system there. I've never seen anything like it. It's very powerful. Thanks so much for being with us this morning, Sheriff.
Thank you. My pleasure. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People. Sheriff Phillip E. Thompson coming up next.
Join the fight against heart disease and stroke as Understanding Corporation presents the 13th Annual Waccamaw Area Heart Ball. It's a sparkling black tie gala that features a reception, live and silent auction, and gourmet dining. Then, dance the night away with entertainment by Jumpstart. It all takes place on Saturday, February 17th in the Kensington Ballroom at Kingston Plantation. Call now to reserve your seat at the 13th Annual Waccamaw Area Heart Ball.
We didn't get to talk about being a lifelong native of Horry County, but we did get to talk about why notification is so important. The Sex Offender Registration and Tracking Program. This is critical stuff. Critical stuff. We didn't get to talk about his 29 years in law enforcement, but we did get to talk about that simple phone number and web address. If you don't have internet access, take the time to call his office. He wants you to call. He wants you to call. There's folks there that want to hear that call, 843-915-5450. Or the website, which is most important. Take the time to go there. Go to a library if you have to. Go to a friend's house. Or just get up right now and go to your computer and type in horrycounty.org. Then click on Departments. Click on Sheriff. And take the time to look in your neighborhood. It's critical. Sex offenses reoccur 50% of the time. Sex offenders are there. It's a difficult subject to get into, but it's one that you need to take the time to learn about. Go there, horrycounty.org, click on Departments, click on Sheriff, check out the Sex Offender Registry, or definitely call the office. It's a big issue.